Steve's Backyard Bike and Car Repair Tips, sponsored by Top Coat F11. Welcome back to Steve's Backyard Bike and Car Repair Tips. So, this is the wife's Honda CM450. I don't know if you can see here, but that lens is pretty buggered up. The housing's kind of cracked and stuff too, so I went down to my local motorcycle parts place, and they happen to have one. Now the problem being that's a single wire, which means it's a reverse, but luckily you can actually undo the housings and change the housings inside. So what I'm going to do is I've actually taken the headlight out. It's just 2 screws, and here's my 2 wires. So a little trick is here, before I undo this and take it out and pull those wires through, to make it easier for the wires to go back in, I'm actually going to take, and you can do this with string even, just a little bit of mechanics wire and tie it to the end of that. And as I pull it back through, it'll actually feed it down through that tube. So when I want to put it back in again, I'll just put the wire back on it and pull it back in, and then the light will be back and the wiring will be back in the housing again. So let's take a break here for a minute, and I'll get that pulled through, and I'll show you what I mean when I'm done here. Okay, so I got my new housing installed. To feed the wires through here, there's a little rubber grommet. Mine's pretty deteriorated, but I got it to hold. If it comes to winter time and I have time, I'm probably going to pull this apart and get a proper grommet for it again, because I don't want wires to rub through and short out. But I've got my wire attached here. It's on the longest of the 2 wires, and I'm actually going to tuck this one in with it and hope it pulls it through together. So you're just going to pull gently. As you can see, it's pulling the wires through. Oh, we got a tight spot here. Ooh. Hope I got them through. Yeah, I got them through just enough. Phew. So I'm going to time that in a minute. Timing means matching the other light up. As you can see, I got these wires through now, and it's a matter of just putting the bolt back in, putting the new lens on, and it's done. Now on these Hondas, if you look at the end of each wire, there's a color here. So there's actually blue with white on this one and blue. And if you come down to your wiring harness, I've got 2 blue wires, one with a white stripe. So obviously your blue with your white stripe goes to the blue and white tag, and the straight blue goes to the blue tag. Pretty straightforward, guys. Okay, so if you spread the back of this, if you're doing this on one of these Hondas, you can actually get it to slide on a little easier. I've got it timed up. I'm going to put your bolt in. Now this one was pinched down pretty good on the other one. I think somebody feared it was loose and tightened it down really tight. It doesn't need to be super snug. There's a lock washer on it. It's just enough to pinch it down. You don't need to collapse the pinch right together on the back. It's just 10 mil. There we go. So when you're at this part, you don't have the headlight back on quite yet. You got everything on. I've got the wires plugged in. Just turn it on, make sure it works. Right away, I've got light here. Put a signal on. So before you get all your lenses and everything back on, you know you've got a working light. It's nothing like getting it all back together and then find out, oh, it doesn't work. So I think actually I'm just going to put the lens on right now, and then we'll put the headlight back up. Slide her up. Okay. Now we're going to get our headlight housing bolts. This is a tight fit. Okay, we got the hook up top. There we go. Place. Oh yeah, okay. Sorry guys, the headlight housing on this side is cracked from previous owners. This bike, although be it in impeccable shape, I can tell it's had some beginner riders on it and whatnot, so it's got little bumps and marks that they're actually hidden pretty good, so you don't notice them. There we go. And done. We just turn it on, make sure our headlight and everything works still. Lights are lit up. Check our signal again. Beautiful. It's a lot nicer than one in a bunch of pieces. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it. Just a simple little job, but I figure I'd give you something to look at. I am doing a video now for a new project that I've got. And keep watching, you'll see what that project is. If you like what you saw, if it helped you out, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and tap that bell if you want to know when I put up more content. Cheers. Have a great day, guys.